All right, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of AI Lunch and Learn. My name is Danny Ross, and I'll be your host and guiding you through this afternoon's lesson. Certainly, if you are brand new, looking through the names here, I think most of you have been here before, but if you have never been on one of our sessions, please go ahead and drop a one in the chat. Otherwise, I'll actually start today with open question. And I have some things I wanted to train on today specifically. The AI Lunch and Learn occurs every Tuesday at noon Eastern, and we cover the topics of the Build Biz platform, AI in general, what's new, all of those types of things. And then the AI workstation is our version of essentially people who are white labeling the Build Biz platform in the sense or AI workstation, white labeling the AI workstation platform. They're related. And that occurs every Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern or 12 noon Pacific. And if you miss a session, the recordings are here. I'm only about 6 weeks behind now, but after the holidays, I'll be able to catch up. It's been a crazy 3 weeks. We were getting training in Puerto Rico. And we had a family reunion. Last week was the 4th of July holiday, and I had a big fireworks show. So it was absolutely insane. Hopefully, we'll get caught up and get all those videos uploaded for everybody. If there's something specific you need a video of in the meantime, send me an email and I can see if I can get that up faster for you. It's Danny at digitalexpress.ai. Today, I wanted to touch on a couple of new things that are floating around. Before I do that, if there is a specific challenge you're having in the Build Biz platform, go ahead and drop that question in there. Sometimes I like to just see what people are working with and what you're having a challenge with as we continue to build out the platform. We're always adding new apps, features, and functions, and it's amazing how many new things get added almost instantaneously to the platform. Sometimes it's hard for everybody to keep track of what's new. Just answer questions on what may or may not be new to you, and certainly if you're having a problem. All righty. I don't see any questions in the chat right now, so that means you guys are doing well. That's a good thing. I see the names. Okay, cool. Yeah, all these names are pretty familiar. Dr. Sean, Antoinette, Zania, Chab, Bear, Gila, Pamela, Sophia. There's not any real newbies, I think, on this particular session, which is unusual. Usually I have one or two newbies, but that's okay. All right. What I wanted to talk about today is some of the business of being in business with AI and the Build Biz itself. There's a lot of different ways to validate your business. I always recommend if you're starting out a business that you run through the Big Dream Generator at least once, even if you have an existing business. What this helps you do is clarify your business model, making sure that you're covering the industry focus. My office is in my house today, not traveling today. Give me 1 second. Let me get them set up. I most sincerely apologize. They said they were going to call me before they came. I'll put some music back on. Give me 1 second. I love live TV. Apologies once again. The guy is like, yeah, I know we're supposed to call, give you a window between 3 hours and 4 hours. And of course, they show up in the middle of the first call I'm having today. Where were we? Okay, so let's take a look. Big Dream Generator, industry focus, target, core problem that you're solving, transformation for the audience. These are all things you need to make sure that you've considered and have a good grasp on. Somebody wants to volunteer. I'm happy to run an exercise. I want to run what's called a focus group. If you have a business model that you've already come up with, a business brief, like if you use the Big Dream Generator and you want to share a paragraph or so from it, or if you want to come off mute and tell me about the business. We're going to run a focus group against it. I'm open to volunteers if you want to share what you're working on with the group. All right, Antoinette would like to volunteer. Perfect. I'm going to put you up here. I'm going to allow you to speak. And there we go. Hey, all right, Antoinette, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good.
All righty. Do you have a business brief or you just want to describe what your business is?
This activity under my account, I don't know how to give you access to that, but who I'm trying to do the focus group on is I'm trying to reach out to companies to come through their human resource department for the people.
Okay, you have the business brief right here. Log into it on your side, hit the big copy button and drop it into the chat. It'll only give you 1,000 characters, which is fine.
Okay, let me find it here.
No worries. You weren't prepared because I didn't say it, but that's fine. I told the guys that are delivering the furniture, you have the worst timing. As soon as I start the call, I knew what was going to happen. My wife, she said, no, no, they're coming like around 2:30. Yeah, okay. I just knew it was going to happen. All right. So what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to go ahead and start a new chat. By the way, you can do this in any LLM. So we'll actually do it in both. I'll start it here and we can go into the AI sales coach. I want to kind of prove a point here. I'm going to start a new chat.
Do you want me to just copy and paste this?
Yeah, just drop it in the chat. It'll only give you 1,000 characters, but that's enough for us to get the essence of your business brief.
Okay.
It is good enough. Oops, looks like they're ready. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get these guys out of my house. Don't go anywhere. Sorry about this, folks.
I've been told, but now I must cry. It is finally goodbye. I know.
All right, furniture delivered. Let's see. We'll just speak it into existence then. All right, let's see if our little chat GPT. Basically, what I want you to do, the business brief itself has some key sections that I want to kind of get. When you say you can't paste it, was it too many characters?
No, I copy it and it copies. And when I hit paste, nothing's pasting
Okay, that is unusual and odd. Let me do this.
because it has everything here. Like it gives me a
Yeah,
sales script,
click it
gives
right
me,
there and email it to me.
okay, I'll do that.
Yep, that'll be fine. And we'll drop it right in here. Next time I should have just let you share your screen. That would have been just as good. But sometimes people are not prepared to share. We will make this work. Were you able to email it?
Oh, finally. Okay. AT&T kept giving me the message saying it's not you, it's us. Oh boy.
This
But
is one of those days. Technology is great when it works. Occasionally, it does not. Let's see. Now it's all being scrubbed and scanned. Let's see.
it's coming from Elliot's Love.
Okay. I got a ping on my watch. Business brief. Wonderful. And so I'll grab all of this. And we got it all here. All right. Here is a business brief. for you to review. Let me know if you understand. All right, so we're just passing that along right there. And we'll run it. And drop it here too. And run it. And I got an error message. Let's see. Maybe it wants it to be in a document. You can do that as well. Never fails. Oh, new doc. There we go. Perfect. Oh, take out that information. If you understand, business brief. Big dream. Perfect. I understand the business brief. Big dream draft care. Potential name, all of our children. Let's do this. The name is all our children. Elite Child Care Academy. Da, 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 da. Let it correct itself there. Perfect. Now that we have this in place, we'll start working on the actual focus group. All right, let's go ahead and drop this in. You are a world-class expert at creating AI virtual focus groups. I want you to help me create a focus group to test the viability of my business model as described in the business brief above. It's close, but not quite. That's interesting. It's almost like it has a language comprehension problem all of a sudden.
It put some curse words on that last one.
Oh man, it's definitely not functioning properly. Even now, it's supposed to be recording what I'm saying, but it's not. All right, we'll wipe that out. I have some of this typed up. I will create an AI virtual group, and then I'll type the rest. And by the way, do you have any specific questions you want to ask for the focus group? I'm just curious. If not, I'll continue with the exercise.
I would like to know what would it take for corporate human resource offices to want to invest in a local center or trust a local center to service their families.
Corporate HR
Yes,
to trust and invest in
a local childcare center to provide the needs of their families.
employee families.
Yes,
Okay, cool. I'll copy paste in this 10 HR reps who have to have different socioeconomic situations, different corporate sizes, SMEs. Because we don't want it to be Fortune 100 because they usually have a solution of their own. You're looking at small and medium-sized enterprises, older, someone who's younger. I'm trying to give it a diversity. Like HR reps, 100 employee companies to several thousands. Determine the best sampling. Give diverse perspectives and the financial sweet spot, target size, describe for each what would motivate them to invest. All right, let's take a peek and see what it gives us. We got Maria, primary pain point, struggling to keep female engineers, post-maternal leave, motivated to invest, keeping top talent, post-baby introduction, trigger to buy-in, flexible hours. Jerome, 300 employees, high absenteeism due to unreliable childcare, increased attendance and functionality, customized, trigger to buy-in. All right, so we have the company 500 employees, competitive recruitment. The pain points are changing. High turnover, turnkey childcare partnership. And that's interesting for you to know. 800 employees, long commutes, rigid childcare hours. These are all things you're familiar with, I would assume. Or are these good information for you? Consistent employee availability, stabilized scheduling. That's interesting. To get it to 1,000 employees, improve customer service. Hourly care model. That's interesting. All right. This is kind of giving you a pretty good overview, different sizes. Yeah, this is a good target market for you. And then you have 24-hour care, 3,000 employees, first 90 days, support model. So that's interesting. Okay. And then 4,000, 5,000. I'm going to share this thread in the chat in just a second. So you'll have all of this. Okay. Then I can create roundtable style dialogue chiming in what matters most to them, why they wouldn't invest, what information or insurances they'd need from. Okay, cool. All right. Let's do both. Yep, let's do all three. Give me their answers. Okay, so this is the small one. Safety. Affordable hourly rates, early morning care would stabilize our workforce. A unique perk like nature-based childcare, door care, and behavioral support. This is just showing you things that you'll flip around into marketing. Hourly option is a game changer. The Academy offers transportation or is located near distribution hubs. That's for the bigger one, 2,000 employees. Behavioral support angle. We'd use this new hire care package. Remote employees 30 miles of location, offers unlock full performance. Bring people in further that live further out. Drop the kids off on the way to work. And okay, so flexible hours. Here's the key things that you would include in your marketing right here. We can do a pitch deck, but let's do a little bit more here. Hold on a second. Let me grab something. 3-tier model. Yep. Let's get some pricing. Give me three-tier model of pricing, which will cover an average for the various focus group members. Let's see what that might look like. Kind of curious. All right.
Was this basically saying they buy the hours and then they send whoever needs the hours?
It's given us options. Okay, this is a three-tiered corporate group partnership. Yeah, this is a partnership pricing model. 1,000 to 2,500 up to 5 families and rentals, 80 hours. In other words, you're creating corporate pricing. That's interesting. $1,000 a session. These are just optional add-ons. Give me more traditional pricing models where the employees pay for childcare. And then what's your area? Sorry.
30038.
Okay. A region. And this, let's see what they give us. Weekly cost, 190 to 250, full-time, part-time. And that's breaking it down so you can compare it to the pricing that you were thinking that gives you some good numbers. And then you can do deeper research on this. Anytime you want to do that type of thing, the only reason I didn't do it is because it does take a lot longer. I would run deep research model,
Got you.
and that will take its time and walk through the whole exercise so that it'll give you a much slower kind of pace. Now, let's do a little out of the box thinking here. Let me find, I have another doc I want to use instead. This one should also be run as deep research, but we are not going to have time to really do that. And so we're going to do the best we can. All right. In care services and for HR teams of SME. Actually, we'll just leave it as HR teams. And then let's do a deep research on this. And while it's doing that, I'll show some other fun stuff that we're working on. All right. So basically what I'm asking it to do is run some deep research on this. And I want it to take the time to look at the space that you're in and see what's going on in this market, top emerging problems, and then look for additional kinds of things that you may not have considered yet. That's where the deep research comes in. Let's answer these three questions. One, are you targeting HR teams at companies? Yeah, region.
Here, Southeast Atlanta.
Give me that zip code again.
30038.
Okay.
About a 10-15 mile radius.
Okay. Down to 15-mile radius. All right. And then two, what specific products or services are you planning to offer? And then there was something in your business, you were saying the outdoor, what do you call it? What's the
Nature base. And we do have backup care that's provided in the in-home area.
In home.
or
Okay.
sick care is what it's called. It's called our sick care home center.
Okay, cool. We'll add that. Three. And would you like to report to focus on traditional in-center childcare or alternative models? I think
In
that
center and Montessori.
center and then how do you spell Montessori?
Montessori
Got it. All right.
and forest schools.
And Forest School. All right, cool. All right, and that should be good enough to run. So we'll let that run. And all we're asking it to do is take a deeper look at what we already know and then tell us what we don't know. That's basically what we're asking it to do. It's going to run that. It's going to take a minute. So I'm going to go back to the platform while it's doing that. Does anyone have any questions about the two steps that I just did? One was running a focus group so that you can get an outside perspective from the AI of things that you may not have thought of. And when you're doing this, if let's say you're targeting this one is targeting HR teams, so it's a little different. But if you're going to target it to a product or service, what you want to do is have it give you 10 people for your focus group that are diverse, married, not married, different social, economic, different racial makeup. Just make it as varied as possible. If there's an age range for your product or service, because you before this exercise, when you do that big dream generator, it gives you your targets as far as ages and things like that. You want to include that. The focus group takes it one step further and talks about all the things that group may want to respond with. The third thing we're doing is a deep research look into outside the box thinking. We wanted to take into account everything above, but then we wanted to take the time slowly to go through and search and see, again, what is a pain point that is unique to your industry, your business, your niche, your market, your target audience that, again, yes, you may be aware of, but you may not have thought of. Let's see what it's doing here. It's still working. It's not done yet. Yeah, it's got a little ways to go. So it's going to take a while. That's why I said 10, 15 minutes is pretty average. All right, so while it's doing that, I'll pop back and see if anybody has any questions, and we'll go back through here. I can say that things that are new, there's no question the famous.ai, which I've spoken about a few times on these calls, is by far the newest and greatest thing. As I said, I'll share this chat thread as soon as it's gotten a little further and is done. I'll share the chat thread. But this is the link to Famous for anyone that has not played with it yet. And you can start for free. We have that coming up, and that's a lot of fun. At the end of the month, we have another launch. We have another certified AI app builder. I know some of you that are on here has gone through that, and then some of you have not. Let's see if I can find that. This is the new, I'll get to this in a second. People ask me all the time, why do I love this platform? But I'll explain what's the excitement about that in just a second. Let me see if I can find this link I'm looking for. Should be buried in here somewhere. Let's see. I know I was looking at this a minute ago. By the way, if you have questions about using the famous platform, this is a great resource. It includes documents and links to videos and all kinds of fun things. You can join Discord, which will help you answer questions as a group. You can set up an affiliate link and this is all stuff that's coming along the pipeline. New is they have the ability now for you to white label. So if you are playing around with white labels, you can actually white label Famous. Dr. Rashawn asked me a question which I didn't answer earlier. Dr. Rashawn, you asked why you would want to white label Famous versus white label on Build Biz. Build Biz is the platform that you build content, doing exactly the types of things we're doing right now, where you can build images, websites, get a business phone number, get a business email, domain name. There's books in there on how to build your business using AI. There's a platform you can white label and offer to your own users and members. It's a good foundational AI business platform. You can either use it yourself to provide services for other customers, or you can white label it and offer it to other people. They can then utilize it and even resell it themselves. It's a full-fledged AI agency in that sense. Famous now is an app building platform where you can build any app that comes to your imagination. If you can think of an app that would benefit your business, you can build it in Famous. It just makes it easier to get that type of thing up and running. To answer the question, Famous is where you can come and build any style app that you can imagine. I build apps for showing off stuff to customers. I have Dr. Rashan, who is building a Kanban style app like this one here, where you can drag the element from one to the other. And right now she's having trouble with some of the functionality, not on this app actually, but one of the quiz apps that we have. Let me see if I can find an example of a quiz app. I think I have quite a few of them. This is one we were building for Annette last week. So in this, it's a simple quiz. This is like 10 questions we started building last week. So we can continue on building this. The quiz, the idea is it's family reunion and we're building a quiz for it. The next thing we would want to do is create some storage of the answers that are coming from the quiz. The first thing that you have to do is create a login and sign up process. When somebody finishes the quiz, they can add their login information so that the AI knows the answers are associated with a particular user. Create a sign up and login process for this app. And so we'll kick that off and let it run. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, we're running through. Look at this. And what I love about this deep research, right? So it's examining childcare market around Southeast Atlanta, focusing on outdoor nature-based programs. It's just thinking of the relevance and it's showing different things here. It's walking through all these things. I'm gathering info on Montessori schools in Lithonia, Georgia, particularly those that are outdoor. I'm considering other methods to gather in Robin's Nest Nature School. And then it's going through their website. It's checking out DeKalb County, Stonecrest. It's wandering around looking at other schools. It's doing this sick child care option, taking a look at that. Read an article here. This is literally what it's doing while you're waiting here. It's telling you all the places that it's going. The reason why this is better than the quick response version is the quick response version is based on really fast, instantaneous review of what it had in its memory on the subject, whereas this is much more deliberate, slower, time consuming, but much more accurate depiction of the different sources that are out there. And it tells you its sources, so you can actually go back and check it out for yourself. You can just click on it and it'll go off and do these kinds of things. It's building this all out. And so we'll give it a few more minutes to keep doing that. While it is doing that, I will check back on our build here. Let me refresh this. This is for the end of the month, and you can watch the video and get it. If you're interested in building apps in famous.ai, this is training that we're giving at the end of the month. It's $297, but it's also 2 whole days of training, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. You'll get a certificate. Watch the video. Dr. Rashan is actually on here. I know she's been through this. It gives you an idea of all the different things you can do with the app. It does an advanced version of some of the training we did today, creating focus groups, creating business models, a really deep dive into creating your niche of reviewing your business, making sure it makes sense, and then doing this out of the box experiment with deep research. These are all elements from that training. It'll help you get your app up and going by using real world example exercises. Let's take a look at this. And we can see where it's coming back with childcare market analysis. And so it's walking you through all of the details. I'm just going to share it with you so you can read it. And so here are the emerging problems: shortage of quality childcare slots, affordability and workspace, ideal client segments, local employers with 24/7 or extended hours shift. If you're doing the nature, you may not have the availability for evening. You might be just doing daytime. Again, this is all things you can consider. Focused on family benefits. So you're going to go into the HR team and talk to them about why they should take a look at your approach. Community referral, schools, pediatric clinics, churches are interesting. Working parents in high need demographics. If they're dual income, both parents are working. And so you're going to be reaching out and trying to tap that market. Key things there. For example, my son and his girlfriend, they have a 2-year-old and they take turns. They work different shifts, which is entertaining and is only young people can do. But hey, we have to do what we got to do. We've all been there. Corporate backup at sick care program. These are opportunities above and beyond what you started with, or at least was in your business brief. Opportunity two, nature-based enrichment, or preschool. And so it's giving you actual walkthrough of what the opportunities are. Inclusive care. This is where employer offers it to their employees as part of their benefit package. That's a really good option. Next steps, validation, local marketing and research, market research and networking, pilot programs. Are you a member, Antoinette, of the Atlanta Black Business Chamber, ABC? Antoinette? You think you went on mute here? I think we might have lost Antoinette. I can see you're still logged in, but I can't hear you if you're speaking. Oh, Dr. Rashawn, you had your hand up. I'll promote you so you can speak. What was your question?
The question is, when you have your big idea or the business coach on the Build Biz, are those programmed differently than, say, if you just went to Chat GPT? Is there some special way you have those set up that make it more sense to deal with that if you're dealing with business than just go cold and Chat GPT?
Good question. You know how if you've been using ChatGPT for a while, it begins to learn you and understand your business and personality. Within the platform, we can actually make it even more specific. For example, I have a lot of customers that have very specialized knowledge that they want to train up into their GPTs or chatbots. And the platform allows you to create a knowledge base. Had you done that yet? I'll explain quickly about that. In the meantime, I'm going to keep working on this quiz here. It wants me to create Superbase. Superbase, for those on the call that don't know, is basically a file cabinet. It's a database where you would put all of this information. Now that it has done that, it's going to continue building that out. All right, let's go back to the chat here. So we have this great chat. Hmm. All right, let's go ahead and share this with Antoinette. I'm going to create the link and drop this in here. And there you go, Antoinette. There's the chat for you. Anybody who needs to use it can also take a look at it. You would continue with this process now. You could tell it, create a PowerPoint deck I can use for my target HR departments. Give me the actual slides in text. It'll try to create a PowerPoint. I don't actually want the PowerPoint. I want the actual slides themselves. And I'll show you why in just a second. All right, back to Build Biz. Within Build Biz, one of the things that you can do is you can create what's called a knowledge base.
Mm.
And the knowledge base allows you to drop different things into it to use it to train. If you've written a book, if you have a Word doc, PowerPoints, Excel sheets, whatever about your business that you want to teach the AI about, you would just upload those files. You just click the file button, upload them. You can do a group at a time. You don't have to do them one at a time. If you have a website, each page of the website, you'd want to put the URL in here. If you have partners or mentors, you can drop that in here. You just have to be careful. Anything you train it on, it can include that in its responses or answers to your users. For instance, the contact information for your mentor might end up in its response. You have to be careful what you're adding to the knowledge base, okay? And
Mhm.
then manual documents are where you copy paste, and maybe you have a journal or maybe a video on YouTube. This is a great way to teach it about things you've spoken on before. You can go to YouTube, click the summary, hit the transcript button, copy paste the transcript, and create a manual document. It'll learn everything in that video you had done before. That's how you get that trained up. And then once you have done that, you can then go back now to creating a new AI personality. Let's say I'm going to create a new personality app. This one doesn't have those. We have AI personalities here. I'm not logged in as myself. I'm logged in as one of my customers. Give me one second. This is basically you would create a personality. There can be all kinds of apps that you can create, but they can chatbots, for example. You can create chatbots. This is really weird. There we go. I'll show you one of these. For instance, the Big Dream Generator. Let's go into it. Let's see what it's trained on. Down here. Yep, it's trained on Build Biz. This is the knowledge base that is being used, and you can select a different knowledge base. You can share one knowledge base with multiple apps, but the idea is this app is trained on the Build Biz knowledge base. If I go into the knowledge base itself, you can see some of the ones that I've created. Build Biz has 131 documents. I don't necessarily recommend you build all of them with that many documents, but the idea is you can have different ones and point multiple apps to that same. Now that AI knows me, knows my teachings on sales and marketing, and so it understands. That's the idea. It's a customized GPT personality based on your knowledge specifically. I have customers like Pastor Freeman who wants to be biblically accurate. His knowledge base is all about that. This is what I mean by you can train it to be very specific to you and your knowledge. All right, here we have a slide deck about the all our children. We can go down here and just grab this. Here's slide 12. Now we have the slide deck, and then in the Build Biz, we have Gamma, which is not an internal app. This is an external app. And if you've never signed up, you can sign up for a free version. So if I tell it I want to create a new deck, I can go here and paste in our slides that we've just created. And I'm going to tell it, whoops, we want a presentation. And by the way, this is just part of my workflow. I recommend tools that I use. I can tell it that you want to, how do you want it to build? And I'm not going to give a training on this today. What's your color scheme, Antoinette?
Just do this one.
Let's generate. And we'll go from there. And so it's going to drive that and build it out for you while you watch. Gamma is an excellent AI tool. And extremely flexible. You can actually build website pages as well. I have customers that do that. Essentially, it's taking that slide layout we already have and applying it. And then as it builds it out, it'll actually create images that are appropriate. What's nice though is you can easily edit those images multiple ways. You can upload your own images. You can click on it and say, hey, change this via prompt. Just tell it what you want it to change, speaking to the AI directly, or you can just type in an updated prompt. You can change the layouts of the different slides. So really easy to edit and gives you a lot of flexibility. For example, this image here, we would replace by going here, double clicking on it, and then you can upload a more appropriate image from AOC. And so that's how you would change that image. Or if it's generated an image that you don't like, you can change it. For instance, this slide here is just made up stuff. I would change it to actual content or just delete the slide. That slide, if it's not real, then just use fake stuff. This is giving you the domain here. You can drop in, I know AOC has images. So you can drop it into full slide mode. You can see what it looks like, but it creates this on its own. It's pretty good. For example, this image, let me go here. It's not very effective. Stressed parent working from home. What's nice is you can pick a different generator. There's different generators built in. I'm going to just tell it to run that one again. For whatever reason, it didn't actually generate an image. There you go. Much better. You can pick which one is better for you. This is all good stuff. This is good stuff. I will share this in the link as well. I'll change it to edit. Let's copy the link and drop it in here. All right, so hopefully that was useful for everyone. A good workflow to walk you through your idea, thinking outside the box, comparing a focus group, and then taking it into how do I actually create a presentation to go pitch or sell my products or services. And you can do all of that within an hour, including delivery of furniture. It's really amazing workflow that you can create using the platform, using different tools that are out there. And the reason why I was using ChatGPT is I was getting some error messages on the Biz platform. Not exactly sure why, but that happens occasionally. Deep breath, go get some coffee, and then go back and try it again. It's pretty easy to walk through and work through some of these things. Everyone, I think we have covered a good amount today. How much would you say? There is no number. It is truly subjective. My suggestion, though, is be careful of shiny object syndrome, where you're constantly looking at the latest AI tool. There are literally thousands of them. One of the reasons I created the Build Biz platform is for 20 bucks, you get quite a few AI tools. And so, yeah, there is no one answer to that question. So if you have, sometimes I get asked if I have AI sales coach and Ask Danny and some of these other ask ones, do I need ChatGPT? Their answer is, do you use ChatGPT a lot? If you do use it a lot, keep it. There's no reason to get rid of it if you find it useful. You saw today I was having trouble with one app. I just switched to another. LLMs, large language models, are very flexible. You keep as many of them as you need or want. And then you have specialized AI tools like Gamma and Famous that are geared towards something. As to why to white label Famous, if you are going to be in the AI app business, meaning you're going to be developing apps for other people, that's when you would want to white label it. If you're not, then don't get into that business. Focus on building out your white label in buildbiz.ai. And then once you get customers up and running and they keep asking you for custom AI apps, that might be where you want to get into white labeling Famous. Those are all, because that's an additional cost. It's 64 bucks a month. Unless you have a model where you're going to make money, and I would not white label it. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm going to drop, and everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. If you're on a 4 o'clock session, I think we have a whole bunch of sessions. I will be training again 7 p.m. tonight. That's going to be the beginner class, AI 1 hour. Most of the people on here have already been through that. I'll be on at 7 and we'll be picking up this conversation again. All right, everyone, have a fantastic day.